Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and the population of the United States has tripled overnight. 3 billion people, the entire population of China and India, have just arrived on American soil. That's right. 3 billion people. Every city, every town, every street corner is suddenly unrecognizable. This is not science fiction, folks. This is a thought experiment that will blow your mind. I'm talking about the greatest migration event in human history. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this scenario will shape our entire America. Stay tuned, because what happens next will shock you. This is the Specvio, where the thing that could happen suddenly rips itself apart. Let's start on day 1. The moment 3 billion people set foot in America. Right now, the United States is home to about 335 million people. We're adding 9 times that number in a single day. America's population density will go from 36 people per square kilometer to 330 people per square kilometer, making us more densely populated than India right now. Here's what happens immediately. Housing crisis on steroids. The United States has about 140 million housing units. We're going to need 3 billion more people. That's 21 people crammed into every existing home, apartment, and building. Forget about personal space. We're talking about refugee camp conditions in every neighborhood from New York to Los Angeles. Infrastructure collapse, our roads, permanent gridlock. On the average American highway, about 2,000 cars pass by per hour. Multiply the traffic by 10, and you've got parking spaces on every interstate. Los Angeles traffic. It'll look like a pleasant Sunday drive compared to this nightmare. Food and water emergency. The United States comfortably produces food for about 400 million people. We'd have to feed 3.3 billion people overnight. Every grocery store would be emptied within hours. Water treatment facilities designed for 335 million would be operating at 10 times that capacity. Rationing would not be an option, it would be survival. The first 72 hours would be absolute pandemic. Now let's talk about money, because this migration will create the largest economic disruption in the history of the world. Job market apocalypse. There are currently about 160 million jobs in the United States. We just added 1.5 billion working-age adults to the labor force. That's a 900% increase in job seekers overnight. Unemployment won't just keep rising, it'll explode to 80 to 85%. Even if we magically created millions of new jobs, the competition will be so fierce that wages will reach third-world levels. That $15 minimum wage? Try $3 an hour if you're lucky enough to find work. The GDP roller coaster. This is where it gets wild. America's GDP is about $27 trillion. China's is $18 trillion. India's is $10 trillion. $3.7 trillion. Combined, we're looking at a theoretical $48 trillion mega economy. But here's the catch. Productivity will plummet in the short term due to chaos, infrastructure failure, and resource scarcity. We'll see an initial GDP crash of 40 to 50% before any recovery begins. We're talking the Great Depression times 10. The fate of the dollar. The US dollar will face unprecedented pressure. Printing money to deal with this crisis will drive up inflation. Think Zimbabwean or Venezuelan levels. Your $100 bill could buy you a loaf of bread in months. The dollar's global reserve currency status. Gone. Bitcoin and gold will skyrocket as people flee to alternative stores of value. But economics is only one piece. Let's talk about the cultural earthquake that will reshape American identity forever. The language barrier breakdown. English is currently the dominant language in America. Suddenly, Mandarin, Chinese, and Hindi are commonplace on every street corner. Schools will need to teach in 3 languages simultaneously. Business? Good luck holding meetings when half your team speaks Mandarin, a quarter speaks Hindi, and a quarter speaks English. The religious landscape is changing. The US is about 65% Christian. China and India bring in large Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, and non-religious populations. Christianity will fall to a minority position almost overnight. We will see Hindu temples and Buddhist monasteries in most cities far more than churches. This is not good or bad. It is just a complete transformation of America's spiritual identity. The food revolution. Say goodbye to hamburgers and hot dogs as America's signature foods. With 3 billion people in Asia, Chinese and Indian cuisine will dominate. Imagine Taco Bell being replaced by dumpling houses and curry restaurants on every corner. The American palate will change permanently. The political power shift. Here's the big deal. Democracy as we know it will end. With 3 billion new potential voters, Chinese and Indian communities will hold 90% of the electoral power. Every election will be decided by Asian American voters. A two-party system? Completely irrelevant. We'll see new political parties representing Chinese and Indian interests taking over Congress, the presidency, everything. Now zoom out. What happens to the rest of the world when 3 billion people disappear from Asia and reappear in the US? China and India. Ghost nations. China lost 1.4 billion people. India lost 1.4 billion. Both countries would be virtually empty. Think post-apocalyptic landscapes with abandoned cities, factories, and farmland. Their economies would be instantly destroyed. China's manufacturing empire. India's tech industry dead. Gone. Global supply chains would be shattered as these two countries manufacture everything from smartphones to pharmaceuticals. America becomes a superpower. Or a failed state. Here's the paradox. America will have the largest population ever on Earth, 3.3 billion people. That's more than China, India, the European Union, and Africa combined. In theory, this makes us an unstoppable superpower with unlimited human capital. In reality, we will remain a failed state for at least a decade, struggling with infrastructure collapse, economic chaos, and social unrest. Global power vacuum. Who will fill the void left by the departure of China and India? Europe, Russia, and emerging African nations will fight for dominance. We will see a new Cold War between the European Union and Russia over Asian territories and resources. The Middle East will gain unprecedented advantage as a supplier of oil to a resource-starved world. Saudi Arabia and Iran will become the new superpowers by default. Fast forward 20 to 30 years. What does this new world actually look like? Scenario A. American Renaissance. If, and this is a big if, America manages to successfully integrate 3 billion people, we will create the most diverse, innovative, and powerful civilization in human history. Combining American entrepreneurship, Chinese manufacturing expertise, and Indian technology expertise could usher in a golden age of innovation. We will solve climate change, colonize Mars, and cure disease because we will have the largest concentration of human talent. Scenario B. Balkanization more likely. America is fragmented into regional areas. The West Coast becomes a Chinese-dominated zone. The South remains traditionally American. The Midwest becomes an Indian cultural center. We will see internal borders, separate economies, and potential civil strife because different groups compete for resources and political power. America's states will be united in name only. Environmental catastrophe. Let's not forget. 3.3 billion people in America will create environmental catastrophe. Carbon emissions will skyrocket. Deforestation will fuel housing construction. Water tables will disappear. America's natural beauty, Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon, the Everglades, will be destroyed by overdevelopment. We will become the world's biggest polluters overnight, making climate change irreversible. So here is the bottom line. This scenario will be the most transformative event in human history. And probably not in a good way. But I want to know, what do you think will happen? Will America emerge as an unstoppable superpower, or will we descend into chaos? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're intrigued by these mind-bending scenarios, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because here at Specvio, we explore alternate timelines, impossible scenarios, and futures that could have been. We've got videos on what would happen if America changed crypto, what would happen if Trump ran India, and more coming your way. Don't miss out. Thanks for watching, folks. Remember, the future isn't written yet, but here at Specvio, we imagine every possibility. I'll catch you in the next timeline. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep questioning reality. This is Specvio, where we reimagine time, space, and destiny beyond peace. End screen with subscribe button and 2 video suggestions.